Hey everybody, Pastor Andy Duffey here, coming to you from Wednesday of Holy Week, and Pastor Bilbo is here, the minister of cuteness and affection, and he's just having a good time here on the floor. I thought I'd bring your daily devotion from his level today. I always like being on the floor. Everything has a different perspective. Everything seems bigger, grander. I don't know why that is. Even when I was little, I liked sitting on the floor, watching TV from the floor. Some of that may have been that I didn't have glasses yet, and so I had to get closer to the TV to see the screen. I don't know. Um, but there's just something special about being low to the ground. I'm aware of all of the people today in the world who are disproportionately affected by this virus outbreak. I think it's important that we remember those groups who are suffering more than we might be. Of course, I have no idea who you are and you're watching this. Some of you may be in some really difficult times, whether it's physical illness, financial stress, just the anxiety of being unsure about employment or health or family. There's a lot going on. And sometimes I think those of us in different situations might get very overwhelmed with our own problems and forget that there's a whole lot worse things going on. Sometimes we don't realize how good we have it. Bilbo doesn't know how good he has it. Sometimes he thinks that we are just so mean, but he is a spoiled dog, and so am I. So I was reminded today of the parable that Jesus tells of the Pharisee and the tax collector, and I wanted to read this to you from Luke 18. To some who were confident of their own righteousness and looked down on everyone else, Jesus told this parable. Two men went up to the temple to pray, one a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee stood by himself and prayed, God, I thank you that I am not like other people, robbers, evildoers, adulterers, or even like that tax collector. I fast twice a week and give a tenth of all I get. But the tax collector stood at a distance. He would not even look up to heaven, but beat his breast and said, God, have mercy on me, a sinner. I tell you, this man, rather than the other, went home justified before God. For all those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. Now, normally this is a parable that's about our attitude, right, when we come to pray. Our attitude of humility before God, but also as we think of those around us, to be careful that we are not judging those whose circumstance in life seems to be um, more uncomfortable. To think that we're somehow better because our life is a little bit easier. Um, Rather than boasting, perhaps we should all be confessing. And at this point, I wonder how we can apply this to the way that we pray and the way that we think of one another. I don't believe that this tragedy is affecting certain people because they are in any way deserving, that God is using this to um, unleash punishment or wrath on people who sin versus people who don't. Look, we've all got issues, right? God would be very much in the right if he decided to punish all of us, but I don't think that's the kind of God we have. I think the kind of God we have is the one who reaches out to every single person with unlimited, unending love, but especially for those who are suffering the most, for those who are on the margins, right? For those who are frequently forgotten and frequently suffer or feel um, neglected by the world. And there are communities like that today, whether they be communities of color, uh, impoverished communities, communities without means, refugees, and many others. And me and my relative comfort, where I get so anxious about being unable to leave my house, I need to put things in context. I have it pretty good. Maybe I need to take advantage of the opportunities that my comfort gives not only for myself, but to extend some of that support to others. I think that's what Jesus would have me do. I'm not sure I should try to be like a Pharisee or a tax collector, but just be who I am and who Jesus would have me be at this moment. Maybe we can all ask that question. Spoiled Bilbo is past asleep right now, so we're going to let him take a nap and enjoy the comfort he has. Let's all consider what God's calling us to next.